Shut up and sit down.
Hello, guys.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? How's everyone's
Well,
weekend been?
hmm.
So today, in our newest episode of the Freja MMA podcast, we are joined with the almighty one, Arnold Allen. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Yourself?
Yeah, we're doing good. I just want to say, first of all, congratulations on the amazing performance against Nik Lentz. I know it was a change in opponent and everything. How are you? How was it with that? Like the change in opponent, was it a massive game plan change on your end, or was it just go in and do your thing?
Uh, yeah, it was a big change because he was kind of the opposite of what we were prepping for. Like obviously Emmett was a one-punch knockout guy, and he moves a lot and don't he moves, and then explodes. Nik Lentz is he's not really a one-punch power guy, but he's more of a grind you out for 15 minutes and like tie you down, wear you down. So it was literally the opposite fight. But his striking was much improved than I thought it was going to be. So
Yeah, and like you have said in interviews in the past, you know, you was quite surprised by his striking and also his just like crafty veteran tricks of
mm,
grabbing your wrist and things like that. We know that the eye poke has been in the media a lot on his behalf.
yeah.
So like, do you feel like he will try and change the decision from the matchup because of the eye poke or anything like that?
No, I do remember the eye poke. It was like the last minute of the fight, and I did poke him in the eye. It was an accident, and I stepped off the gas because I was like, well, there's 1 minute left. I feel like I'm winning.
Mm.
Like, what's the point of I'm not going to jump on him now when I accidentally did that.
Mm.
So I stepped off. I was like, okay, I'll give him some space. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we've interviewed you previously in an article, and at that point you did say that it was very important to you to like break into the American market of fighting, like go over there and actually get a few fights under your name. Do you feel
Yeah.
like this is like the way forward for you now to be fighting stateside?
Yeah, of course. Like, obviously, for me, being from England, I'd love to fight in those London cards. But if there isn't like a co-main event or a main event sort of spot in future, then it doesn't necessarily matter too much. Fighting in America, that's the home of the UFC. That's where you want to be to build your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, John.
So you have a super impressive record. Like, what are you looking to do next? I mean, doors should be opening up everywhere, right?
You'd think so. But
Yeah.
yeah, well, I just want to keep building on that record. I want to be in that top 10 because, like I said time and time again, the rankings are kind of unpredictable, and it's not even worth looking at. Like one day you look at it, you're in it, next day you're not, and there's no reason, there's no explanation. It just happens.
Yeah, well,
But
I guess they're factoring in like hype a lot and how you're
yeah,
perceived and stuff like that.
So,
yeah,
so
and I think one problem for me is I don't call people out after a fight. I uh, I don't shout about what I'm gonna do next, and
Hmm.
I have a plan, and I do know what I want to do. But yeah, I keep it to myself and work away at it quietly. But
Hmm.
obviously, that's not interesting for your everyday fan.
so let me just get the facts out here. You're on a 7 fight winning streak in the UFC since you signed in 2015, and a 9 fight win streak in all MMA,
Yeah,
and you haven't lost since 2014.
yeah.
Um, you are now ranked 15th in the featherweight rankings. You was previously ranked 15th in the featherweight rankings as well. Does
Mm.
that kind of stuff frustrate you that you are jumping in and out of that spot?
No, not really, because it doesn't. Like I say, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't. It really doesn't matter because someone might fight. What's the card? There's a few featherweights on. Yeah, got teammates fighting others. So, say someone wins this this weekend on the UFC card. And they'd probably jump above me, and I'll get out of the rankings again. And it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter really.
So then your next opponent should be, you're hopefully aiming for someone in the top 10, like Josh Emmett or someone along those rankings.
Yeah, like something like that would be great. That's my goal for this year. I want to be in that top 10, and I want to be, around that sort of position where I'm looking at asking for titles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was quite surprised that there was no after fight interview like in the octagon at that point.
Yeah, I was surprised too. It was weird. We were just rushed out the cage, and we didn't even have a photo with the team after. So I was like, okay, bit weird.
Mm.
Yeah, it's strange. I heard a lot of conspiracy kind of theories of they're trying to keep the Brit down kind of thing and everything like that.
I didn't hear nothing like that. I just think there was a lot of decisions. Mine was a decision, and I think they were just running behind schedule probably.
Mm.
Yeah, and I mean, you have. We could probably say that you have moved out to Canada full time for your camps and everything, training out there with TriStar. How much do you? Sorry, go on.
I spend most of the time there. Just you never know when you're gonna have to fight, so I just want to try and stay ready, sort of thing.
So, when did you move to TriStar, and how much would you say that bring up your game in your fighting career?
I started going there. So I won my debut in 2015. I think I literally went there a few months after my debut, so it was in 2015. Because I won a bonus, and I was basically looking for something to spend my money on. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go train at one of these camps and see how I like it. I was thinking about buying cars and stuff like that, but I ended up at going to TriStar.
Yeah, that's some real priorities right there. Like,
yeah,
I reinvested in myself. Yeah.
And funnily enough, GSP, one of his main bits of advice is invest in yourself. That's what he always says to us. He's always saying, invest in yourself, invest in your training, invest in your career. I'm like, okay, yeah, sounds good.
There you go. You can have the outlandish, like, chatting shit in the after fight interviews and buying cars and everything. But no, you just be you and work on yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we saw previously as well that you come from a family of strong men and power lifters. Would you say that that kind of genetics, should I say, because you do joke about your dad being roided to the gills, but would you say that brings out your genetics in your very strong style of wrestling, and especially I saw that your takedown defense is very like powerful. There isn't much like technique per se, but it's more like busting out with just using strength.
Yeah, strength is a technique.
Yeah, true.
So I would say, yeah, definitely. Like, we always lift. My dad was doing strongman competitions when we were kids, me and my brother. So we would go to all the competitions, and we'd go to the gym with him. We'd lift weights, obviously, when we were kids, and mess around pulling trucks and whatnot, and pushing cars around car parks. So it was always like training in a way, I guess. So then, yeah.
The normal teenage stuff.
Pulling cars.
Yeah.
We've all done that.
Just the normal stuff. Yeah, exactly. And now my brother competes in strongman as well, so he's doing well.
That's craziness to think like a little Arnold Allen with his friends just kind of pulling on weights and Atlas stones and stuff like that.
The worst thing is my brother is more. He's like naturally, he's a freak athlete. I'm like, the hardest anyone has ever punched me is my brother, but he just doesn't have the mind to for the training and competition, for martial arts. But if he did, it would be a scary prospect.
What would we say, heavyweight division, or what would you say with him?
No, because he's so he competes under 100 kilos, so probably light heavyweight or middleweight. If you agree, yeah. But he punches like freakishly hard.
It was just one power, and then he has to go to sleep afterwards, kind of thing.
We used to box together, and he'd hit me hard.
Well, hopefully you'll put those up online, and that'll be something to watch.
Yeah,
Maybe
Well,
one.
now I think I kill him. If he hits me,
Yeah.
it could be over.
But that'd be great if you are having a main event soon. Just have it in your kind of promo, you and your brother sparring in the gym. That just for the side of it, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, he'd just try and knock me out.
Just for the cameras.
Yeah, literally, he would.
So as well, we saw that you had injured your hand during the fight, and said to everyone that was hoping that you can jump onto that UFC London card that it won't be possible. Do you have an update now, because you was unsure about what the injury was?
Yeah, it's nothing bad. It's just like a sprain and like soft tissue damage and stuff. But it's gonna be like about 4 weeks until I can train properly, really. So it's a bit frustrating.
Mm.
But I can't punch anything. I could drill like technique, but I can't like spar, grapple, roll.
Mm.
So it's very frustrating. And usually I lift weights like after a fight. I try and do a lot of like strength work, and the only thing I can do is squat but I can't grip the bar. I have to kind of like hang my wrist over the bar like
Uh-huh.
that. So yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
yeah,
you can ask Tony Ferguson for some strange techniques. That.
yeah, I'm sure he's got something. No-handed deadlifts or something.
Yeah.
But would you still be in the UK for when the card comes? Would you be going
Yeah,
fan side?
yeah. I'm hoping the UFC are going to want to bring me out as a guest. So that would be cool. So I'm going back to Montreal in 2 weeks, but I have a flight booked for London for that fight week. So hopefully, I'd like to be there. A lot of big fights I like to see. Obviously, Leon Edwards. I think that's a huge one. He's probably like the
Yeah.
biggest UK name at the minute. There's some big fights on there as well.
One of the biggest.
Mm.
You can't undermine yourself like that.
Yeah. No, I think he's doing great,
Mm.
and I think he's like. I don't know, maybe he's in a different position to me because he's obviously beat some more notable names and he's on a big win streak. But he doesn't get the respect I feel like he deserves as well. It's like he's just beating all these top guys and no one really seems to bat an eyelid. And I don't know. I think he deserves a lot more. I think when he beats Woodley, he'll get a lot more credit.
Yeah, I think so too. That
He
might
has to
be that
feel-
might be aiming up to a grudge match with Masvidal after the incident of last year as well.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. You John's a bit of a noob to MMA, so all the names are going over the head probably.
Yeah, like
Oh, that's
way
okay.
above. Way above.
I'm not good with names either, to be honest. I kind of know who I've fought in the same cards with.
Mm.
Because then I see him, I'm like, oh, I like that guy. I'll watch him.
So I know that you're very much a like team guy, so a lot of the decision makings and that about your next opponents will be a lot from your coach's side of what would be
Mm.
best for you. Do you have a plan now that you've come out with the victory against Nik Lentz, like when you're thinking to return?
Yeah, like June, July sort of time. Summer would be nice.
Hopefully get on some international fight week kind of things.
Yeah, exactly. Literally that. That would be great. So, and I'm sure if it was International Fight Week, they'd probably try and put together a big fight. So, it'd be a cool one.
Yeah, and hopefully against a higher ranked opponent as well, so we can see you going up those
Yeah,
rankings.
yeah, exactly. That would be great. Like looking through the list, there's a lot of good potential matchups. So it's
Mm.
exciting times.
So are you looking to fight like anyone in the UFC right now in your division, or are you like how does the selection process work? Like, do you get a finger in it at all?
Not really. They just usually send us a name and they're like, yes or no. I'm like, okay.
Mm. Mm.
But usually to be honest, my manager will send it to my coach and then they'll tell me what's up.
Mm.
Because I think if it's me, I'm just like, yeah, sure, I'll fight anyone. But business-wise and career-wise, I guess they know better than me.
Mm.
Because I just sort of just say yes and then we have a fight, but then end up fighting top 10 guys for like £50.
Mm.
And you have been going through like everybody in the featherweight division at the moment, but you haven't put any thought into a different weight class maybe in the future.
Nah, I train with some lightweights and I don't fancy fighting those boys.
Yeah,
No.
that's a concept I never understood, and I still don't understand the jumping divisions thing. Like, aren't you supposed to get into your max performance, be yourself in your most comfortable body, and then take out guys that are in the same position? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
That's how I feel. But no, to be honest, featherweight it's like the perfect weight for me. The cut isn't too crazy. Like the diet for the camp is right. I have to diet hard, but it's not uncomfortable. It's not unpleasant.
mm,
It's just eating clean, you know. So yeah,
Yeah, you
I
don't
did
look
bantamweight
like
once
death
and it
when
was
you're on the
hell.
scale.
yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of the fighters that you are seeing now, you look at like Darren Till when he was competing at the welterweight and things. It's like you don't look so, I can't really say unhealthy, but
Yeah,
so dehydrated when you do hit the scale. So it seems
yeah,
like it's a
exactly.
good fit.
I mean, obviously, like weight cutting, it isn't healthy, full stop. But if they minimize it and look after your body in the long run, because it's not a good thing to do to yourself.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, like I've just been so so damn, I've got tongue tied now. I've just been so impressed by your performances recently, especially watching you like go up the rankings as a Brit as well. It's like it's really impressive, and I, yes, I'm a bit like, oh, he's not gonna be fighting on the European card, so I don't get to watch him. But I'm happy as well that you are busting onto the US scene and getting those big fights as well.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Just need to get the finishes.
Y-
God,
You think that's what it's about mostly, the finishes with the whole
yeah,
rankings thing?
it's entertainment, isn't it? It is an entertainment sport, so people want to see knockouts, I guess.
Mm.
And to be honest, I want to provide the knockouts, but I haven't had the style put in front of me where I can really plant my feet and let my hands go. Like with Nik Lentz, he's one of the toughest guys around. Like he's a tough veteran. He's had 50 pro fights, I think,
Mm.
and he's a tough customer. And
Yeah.
I hit him with some big shots, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna relax because I'm not gonna jump on him because he's probably just gonna get rid of me, wrestle me down. So I'll take my time, pick him apart, you know. And I think that was the best decision with him.
I mean, it's not like you're putting on what the casuals would call boring fights. You are
Yeah.
standing up and banging. So
Mm. But yeah, I see a lot of people commenting stuff and saying things like, "Oh, Arnold's good, but he has no power." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I feel I have too much power. Keep hurting my hands."
yeah,
But yeah, those finishes are going to come with the right matchups, And at the minute, I'm just gaining experience, getting ring time, and getting comfortable. The more comfortable I get, I feel like the more of those knockouts are going to come.
Yeah, and what does it matter if you have 20 decisions? Like, like at some point that'll become a feat in itself.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it doesn't matter at
I mean,
all.
look at Khabib's
yeah,
record.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
so you submitted a guy in of Mats Burnell's jiu-jitsu caliber,
yeah, he's
and
a great
that's
black belt as
impressive.
well.
Yeah, that's impressive in itself. And then you beat like big names like Gilbert Melendez and
Mm,
Nik Lentz. So it's like
yeah.
I would get frustrated for you. You know what I mean? Like,
Also, though, there is guys I should have put away, but I took my time a bit too much, and yeah, I didn't. Like I thought Yatsin Meza, I think I knocked him out on the buzzer. Like, I have a photo of him, and he's 100% knocked out when it was on the buzzer. So I'm like, oh, I thought in my head, I was like, yep, that's a knockout. No,
yeah,
obviously not.
you want to follow up with that last punch, but then you're like,
No,
oh,
he
have
just
to
took
fill
a
it in.
rest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He just took a rest after the fight.
yeah,
yeah,
It's,
exactly.
that's how he
Uh,
celebrates.
exactly.
So if you had the board of UFC featherweight rankings in front of you, and then Dana came to you and said, "Listen, choose your fighter,"
Mm.
who would you say you match up with well, if you had to pick one name?
Uh, always like Korean Zombie. Obviously, he's good to watch
That would be a
as a
great
fan.
fight.
Yeah, looking up the ranking, they're all pretty fun fights. To be honest, like, they're all fun fights. like someone like Jeremy Stevens that's a cool fight. Yair, obviously Zabit one day. Those guys are all pros their own problems, but like very different styles to what I've been fighting to get to this position. Yeah, like short, stocky wrestlers, and then you got these like tall striker wrestlers. Yeah, it's very different. So it would obviously bring out a very different fight, which would be, I think, more exciting for fans.
Yeah, all of the people that you just said there, I was like, that would be amazing fights. I do understand what you're saying as well, but all of the wrestlers of the division are around that, let's say 20 to 12 ranking kind of thing in the division. So yeah, and you want to go on and you want to face these strikers in like exciting matchups. So yeah, I completely understand that.
Oh, did the sound cut you off?
I think it might have disappeared.
Oh, there you go.
You're back.
Yeah.
Did you hear any of that?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I cut out a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just praising that, you know, you do want to face these amazing strikers and put on great performances. Like those fights will be super exciting, like firefights.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. And I think those performances are going to come, and it's going to be fun.
Do you feel like as a fighter, it's the person that you fight that's going to bring the most out of you?
Yeah, exactly. And for me, maybe not overlooked Lentz a little bit, but I had like a feeling before. I wasn't super excited. I wasn't like fired up. I was just like, okay. And when I was fighting Emmett, obviously he's like a one punch knockout guy. I was sort of, I was in the zone for that. I was locked in, and yeah, then we got like a grinder style. I was just like, oh, okay, same old game plan. Make a move. Don't get wrestled on the fedge for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I completely understand that.
Yeah.
So again, I want to like thank you for your time and again, amazing performance against Nik Lentz at UFC Raleigh. I'm not really sure how to say it.
Me neither.
Yeah,
thanks a lot, man.
And before we cut this this podcast short, if you just want to give a thanks to any fans, family, sponsors, or anything like that, here's your platform to do so.
Awesome. I just thank my teams, TriStar Gym, BKK Fighters in England, and Stone Sports Management for looking after me.
Yeah, that's great. And if anyone's going to UFC London, keep a lookout because you'll probably see Arnold Allen somewhere there.
Hopefully.
Yep, hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. If anyone wants to check out Arnold Allen on Instagram or anything, we'll have the link down below. And see you next week.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Bye.